Hello, my name is Delphine Uwase, and I am going to talk to you guys about my initial reactions to the Kony 2012 video and my feelings and the feelings that I felt when I first saw that video, or when I saw certain responses to that video. Well, I first learned about the video when I went on Facebook and saw a friend of mine's status, and she was talking about how aggravating and how infuriating it is when people all of a sudden become so socially active and become such cyber activists when they can't even tell you two or three things about the country that they're so-called helping. And when I called her after reading her status, I was like, what is going on? What is this video about? And she was just very infuriated and very angry. She is she goes to Manchester College, which is in Indiana. It's a big college with Ugandan students. So I could understand where her anger and her aggravation was coming from, because this video was talking about her friend, but also we're Rwandese and Uganda is our neighbor. So in a way, what affects Uganda kind of affects us too. So she told me to watch the video for myself and that I would understand after I saw the video. So I was like, okay. When I watched the video, I was very, very confused, because the first 5 or 7 minutes about it the first 5 or 7 minutes are about a man and his son's childbirth and the fact that we connect, and he was talking about technology and all the things, and in my mind I was like, where is Uganda? How are you going to say that you're creating a video for people and that's not the first thing that you show? Those are not the first people that you show in your video. So anyways, I kept on watching the video and I made a list of a bunch of things that were very aggravating, that really touched, like hit a chord in me and angered me so much. The first thing that he said that clearly pissed me off was when he was like, if they knew, he would have been stopped already. When he said if they is the Western world, they is the United States, knew, Kony could have been stopped by now. And in my mind I was like, what are you talking about? Kony has been a constant struggle for East Africa for so long, for Central East Africa for so long, because not only is this LRA group, this guerrilla war affecting Uganda, which is the only country that this video is focusing on, but it has also affected the DRC, affected South Sudan, it has affected the Central Republic of Africa. And when those countries, such powerful countries in Central East Africa, are affected, all the other countries are affected too. So how are you going to say that none of those governments have been doing anything to stop this man, and saying that the reason this war is going on is because the mighty Western world has slept on its duty? That was one thing that pissed me off. And the second thing that really angered me was when he kept on saying that people have woken up and people have are voicing their concerns and they're fighting for justice. And he used the phrase, if we fight for them, it's about time we start fighting for them. And in my mind I was like, the fight has already begun. Child soldiers have fought to escape these horrible conditions. Governments have fought. There's been countless of peacekeepers that have been fighting for Kony to stop this war, for the LRA to end. So many government resources. There's been local initiatives in Uganda, in DRC, in Central Republic of Congo, in South Sudan, that have tried to make Kony history, that have tried to rebuild and rehabilitate the communities that have been affected by Kony's actions. And you're here telling me that and you're here as a Westerner, as an outsider, asserting that nothing has been done, that the fight has yet to begin. asserting that if we fight for them, then we can end their suffering. What about, so what are you deeming the child soldier who has fought and escaped the camp? Are you saying that that fight is irrelevant because it's not done by the Westerners in the mighty United States? What about for women like Betty Rugombe, who went to camp in the forest and tried to get Kony and Museveni to sign an agreement so this war can end? Are you saying that her fight is irrelevant? Are you saying that the fight of the elders of the local initiatives in Uganda, that the fight that they have, the fight they put up that pushed Kony outside of Uganda into the DRC, that fight is irrelevant? How can a person say if we fight for them? It's not about fighting for them, it's about fighting with them. That is how you're going to create change. And the video goes on and talks about all these things, and the Western world has slept on its human obligations and yada yada yada, and all these things that are just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then he says something that these kids, these people around the world have decided to make these African children visible. These African children have always been visible. They're visible to us, the African diaspora. They're visible to their governments that fight for them all the time, and they're visible to themselves when they see that they will do anything for their siblings, for their mothers, for their fathers. These African children have always been visible. And the filmmaker ends the video by saying it's about time we ensure that the child, no matter where you are, you're safe, and you don't have to fight, and you don't have to hide out so you don't get abducted. And in my mind I was like, how can you ensure that these children of Africa that you're so-called trying to help and trying to rescue, how can you ensure that they grow and how can you ensure a better world for them? How can you ensure a childhood for them when you're basically deeming them inferior, when you're basically deeming them hopeless and deeming them powerless? You're taking away their voices, and you're basically saying that you can't do anything unless we, the Western world, help you. How are you empowering these kids by further victimizing them when taking away their voice? I mean, I ask the people who watch that video and they go on this crazy campaign and they buy the bracelets and they buy the kit and they buy the t-shirt. I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, has you helping, you creating social change, creating social justice, has it come to talking for the victims, telling them what to do, showing them how to do it? Or is making change, going into a country, educating yourself about the country if you don't have the ability of going to it, spreading information, spreading knowledge, and then if you have a chance, helping the people that are the local initiatives, the elders in the community that have already done something? Is that better social change? Isn't that better social change than trying to be the voice of people that you not only don't know, but you also are not making an effort to understand? Those are like the greatest issues that I had with the video, is the fact that once again Africa is deemed as powerless. The narrative of where it's a hungry Africa, it's a hopeless Africa, it's the West. Oh my God, we slipped in '94 and Rwanda happened. We slipped in 2004 and Sudan happened. We slipped in '92 and Somalia happened, and now we're slipped. You know, we slept again on our humanity. We slipped again, and now Uganda is happening. That narrative that Africa needs help, that the West needs to keep an eye, I almost feel like he's projecting that the West needs to keep an eye on Africa if they don't want we hopeless Africans basically like kill each other. It's ridiculous to me. It's infuriating. As an African child, I felt degraded and I felt infuriated by a video that is not once did they bring in basic reforms, and not once did they go into the villages and talk to the elders that are trying to rehabilitate northern Uganda, that are trying to recover northern Uganda. Because right now, northern Uganda is not worried about Joseph Kony. Joseph Kony is out of northern Uganda. Right now, northern Uganda is worried about post-war recovery. They want policies. They want education policies. They want infrastructure, rebuilding infrastructure. They are trying to go back or even better themselves and make a better Ugandan than before Joseph Kony. So for an outsider to come in and say we've created jobs, we did that, we've done that, we did schools and yada 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 yada, and not acknowledging that Ugandans fought far before you came into this country, that Ugandans have constantly fought this man and his powers, have fought this war for 25 years. You're not acknowledging that past Uganda, sorry for stuttering, past Uganda, that there is other countries that are also fighting to end this war. You're undermining the power of the government on the ground, undermining yet again the power of Africans fighting for Africans. That really infuriated me. One final thing that I would say about is that the video definitely simplifies the issue. Joseph Kony did not wake up one day and was like, I'm going to abduct kids and I'm going to make them child soldiers, and all these atrocities that he has made and all these crimes that he has created. He did not wake up one day and was like, this is what's going to happen. This war started as a research issue. It started because of the marginalization of northern Uganda. Joseph Kony had an issue with the Museveni government over oil, over land, over the fact that northern Ugandans were being ignored by the government. Yes, it has progressed into maliciousness and has progressed into crazy crimes that I don't even understand. And I am 100% for the arrest of Joseph Kony. But if you don't understand the history of the Ugandans, if you don't understand the roots of the issue, then how are you going to create policies that can heal the people of Uganda? Well, if your only aim, people's change is just to end the war, then you're not really changing anything. Change is implementing policies that will heal, that will recover, that will rebuild communities that have been affected by war. So I urge everybody that wants to help, that in their heart really want to change the situation in these countries, Uganda, DRC, Central Republic of Africa, and South Sudan. If you really want this LRA war to end, I urge you to educate yourself. It all starts with you. If you understand what's going on, then you can spread the truth. And the more truth you spread, the more activism, the more positive and educated activism that goes on, the better the campaign. It's about time that people stop basing campaigns on pity. It's about time that it stops being the 30 minutes out of your day you cry, you order the kit on eBay, and then that's it. You have to want to know past today. You have to educate yourself. You have to always be curious. You have to always want to find out what is going on. Okay, Joseph Kony has not yet been captured, but are schools being built? Are victims being helped? Are there healthcare systems that are being put in place to rebuild and rehabilitate northern Uganda and what has been going on? So basically, I would like to tell people that social change does not equal rendering the people of Africa, mainly, this is Africa has been a continent that has suffered this the most. The social change does not equate to voiceless Africans. Social change equates to empowering Africans. If you want to make a change in Uganda, you go and hold hands, join forces with the people who are already making change, with the local initiators who are already rebuilding their communities. You go and help them. You become a resource for them. You do not become a voice for them. It's about time that Africa speaks for Africa. The Western world, when they speak for 5 minutes. I mean, Haiti is an example. The first Darfur campaign is another example. You text Save Haiti, we donated $5. You don't even trace your $5, and then all is forgotten. The tsunami is another issue. So it's about when Western campaigns, when there's a repetitiveness of pity seeking in these Western campaigns that are being put out, and people are still responding to this, not questioning what's going on. I can't believe people just took this campaign and were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I bet you only about 20% of the people actually went further and googled the history of the LRA and the history of what was going on. It's about time we stop just crying over a video that was smartly, it was done. Obviously he knew his audience, he knew his consumers. He made that video to appeal to those emotions that you display once you watch it. So it's about time that you and I both fight for justice the right way. It's about time Kony is captured by the government of Uganda with the help of the Western world. It's not about the Western world capturing Kony and then bring it in their face, or like showing off to African countries, basically being like, haha, yet again we did your job. That is not going to help at all, because at the end of the day, if a woman like Betty Lugombo was able to track him and go in the bushes, it's because she understands her people, she understands the way they work. Therefore, instead of trying to be Superman, or the Western world trying to save Africa yet again, they can be the background help for once, and just be the resources that women like Betty Lugombe and other social justice and peace seekers that are down in Uganda and DRC and Central Republic of Africa and in Central African Republic and in Sudan, and help them capture this man, because it's more fulfilling when the people that have been fighting for 25 years are people that end the war, because after that they will join forces again and will be the people that rebuild and recover their country. We saw it in Rwanda. Rwanda was able to do it. I can definitely testify for that. We joined hands after the genocide and we rebuilt Rwanda to the unbelievable development that it is today, and I have no doubt that Uganda will do it. I made this video to talk about my reactions to it, and basically that's what I want to say. But please educate yourself, know what you're talking about, and don't just be a trend follower. At the end of the day, trends are trends, they change over time. But if it's social justice and social change that you are speaking, actually do something. And doing something is not buying a bracelet or buying a t-shirt. Doing something is having debates. It's about opening your eyes, it's about opening your mind, it's about learning about your family, it's about, for once in your, for crying out loud, not saying that Uganda is in Central Africa. It is definitely in the northern East Africa. It's not in Central Africa. It's about knowing what you say before you say it. And that is how people like Kony are stopped. People like Kony are stopped by great minds thinking together. They are not stopped by viral, crazy internet videos and people buying bracelets and kits and all this stuff. So get educated, and such a change will happen. Thank you.